So which version of Java you have been using, Nagesh?
Java 8.
So do you have hands-on on using streams and lambda expressions?
Yeah.
Okay, Nagesh, we'll get started with some basic core Java questions, okay?
Sure. Yeah.
Alright, Nagesh, can you tell me the use of a static keyword in public static void main? Why static is used?
Main method is the first method which will be run in the Java. So it will start some main. That should be in a static because that should be loaded in the start of the JVM. So the static method will be loaded in the while class loading time. Means if it is not a static, then it won't load at the starting time. So the static methods will be loaded at the class loader time. So that method will be called static.
Okay, suppose if you have a static block and static method, which will be executed first?
That is not more like I think both the things will execute. I am not sure like which is first.
I have two sysouts. One in my public static void main, I have a sysout, and in my static block, I have one sysout. So now I'm trying to run the application. Which sysout will be printed first?
Starts it will be starting with static block, and after that it will with the static method.
Okay, alright. Can you tell me the difference between abstract class and interface, please?
Abstract class in the sense we can have both the things like implemented methods and unimplemented methods also. Interface earlier we have having abstract methods which were not implemented. After Java 8 we are using a default keyword and we can implement with there only the method, so that in many places we can use the implemented method in the interface level only. That is the main reason. Like abstract class will be having both the things, and interface having only the abstract methods, which doesn't have implemented. After Java 8, we can, if we need, we can use the default keyword and we can implement the method over there.
Okay, alright, fine. What are the other enhancements with respect to Java 8 and interface?
Other enhancement in interface.
Yeah.
I am sure that default is the only one. I am thinking that is the one. Default is a keyword which has introduced. After that, static block also static. If we can static also, if we have static method, we can implement there, and that won't be overridden in the subclasses.
Have you come across functional interface?
Yeah, functional interface is a different one. That is a functional interface which contains a single method. So by default, we can use that functional interface by using lambda. Lambda only mainly used by function interface. Means directly we can implement the single method. So basically, runnable is also a function interface.
Okay, alright. Is it possible to have default and static methods inside a functional interface nowadays?
Default and static methods we can have. Means default also implemented and static also implemented, and we need to have one separate method which doesn't implemented, unimplemented method one. So that time, yeah, we can have.
Okay, alright, fine. So have you come across these words? Is predicate, consumer, supplier, and all?
Predicate, yeah, I used to use predicate.
Tell me the difference between these three.
I know the predicates, like predicates we can have a what conditions and all we can apply. We used to use in the JPL query, like we used to have a query DSL and predicates. Using the predicates, we used to query using the predicates, like we can have conditions over there, and in there also, and we can have any in streaming also we can use the predicates. Consumer, I'm not sure. Consumer, I am like predicate. If we define that one which will be used, that will be consumed. No, I'm not sure on consumer. Another one.
Okay, alright. What is the return type of predicate, Nagesh?
Predicate return type. One second. Predicate. It will return. It will not return. Predicate will be conditions. It will be added. String based conditions. One second. So I will use the predicate and predicate dot, and we can add that. If we can add it, and we can pass the predicate. The predicate. Not so. Like we'll be setting the conditions in the predicate, and we'll be setting the predicates wherever needed directly the predicate object. So basically, directly the value what it returns, maybe string value, the condition based string value, what the conditions it is added.
Okay, so what are the collections that you have come across on this?
Yeah, I've used list, set, and maps as well.
Okay, can you tell me the difference between array list and a linked list, please?
Array list and linked list. Basically, both are index based format. Array list is like it will be means both are like increments after the memory is like starting it will be initial some amount of memory. After if we new it will come, it will be increased. Into both will be increased dynamically. The thing is like deletion, anything will be deleting in the array list, that will be like in the index format. So if we delete any one point of the index, then what happens, the all the what all the index it should be rearranged to like back to back. But in a linked list, like it will be like if we delete anyone, it will be like linked in a node by node. So the node only means the node only the element will be deleted, and node only will be connected to the new one. That's all. So deleting anything we'll be doing in the linked list, that will be easy. And searching will be, if we do any searching on top of that, we'll go for searching point, means we'll go for the array list, because that will be index based. So directly if we the checking will be like searching will be faster in the array list. Linked list like it will be in a node by node, so it will take too much time to load, to check and come. So this was the thing we'll be using. And linked list, it will be stored in a insertion order.
Okay, so array list is not stored in the session order.
um, no, array list not, it will be stored in randomly.
Okay, all right. Can you tell me how does the hash map work internally? What happens in the put API? What happens in the get API? And all?
Okay, basically Hashmap will be like stores in a key value pair. So key will be hash value. So the value can be anything. It can be null also. So key, if we have a hash value, it will store in a bucket format. So already if same key hash number is there, so it will store in a linked list, and it will the final one, it will be mapped to the new one. Latest one, it will be mapped to the key. I didn't get what you actually asked.
Yeah, what happens internally when put method is called? What happens internally? What happens internally when get method is called? How it is stored? All those things.
Like put method, if you do any put method, it will internally checks the hash code already if it is there or not. If it is there, then it will override the existing one with the linked list, so it will add the new one, but it will be referred to the new one in the key value pair while putting. Means internally that will be using the key will be using the asset, I think. Like asset is a it will be stored into it will not store duplicates, right? So that will also stores in a hashing number. So key will be like stored like that. While getting if we put any key will be converted to the hash key, and that hash key number will be passed while get the value.
Okay, all right. Can you share your screen, please?
Screen, huh? 1 second. Is that visible?
Yeah, it is loading. Yeah, now I'm able to see. Nandish, if you have ID, you can open ID, Nandish, or you can open online compiler. Anything is fine.
Okay, I think I opened.
Okay, create a class with a main method, please.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Create a hash map of string, string.
hash map of string comma string. Yeah.
Okay, so now hashmap.put off. ABC, comma 123 as a string. Keys ABC, values 123, both are string, small letters. Vector small letters. Okay, next line is hashmap.put off ABC, comma 456. ABC, comma 456. Okay, next line is sysout of map.hashmap.get of get of ABC as a string. Okay, tell me what will be the output for this Nandish?
456.
Why?
That I have told, right? It will be the latest one. It will be picking. The last insertion one
Okay.
will be pointing one.
So what will be the size of your hash map?
It will be one.
1 or 2?
Only one.
Okay, alright. So now in the second hashmap.put, instead of small a, make it as capital A.
Okay.
Okay, now what will be the output if you run this?
2 object it will be there, and the value will be 1, 2, 3.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. So is it case sensitive? The keys are case sensitive or not?
Yeah, like the value it will be creates the hash code will be generated according to the value. So the case sensitive also it will be. This is a different
Okay,
value.
alright. So now, alright, fine. Okay, now in line number 11, declare hashmap equal to null.
Hashmap equal to null.
Okay, now tell me what will happen if you run this.
It will throw null pointer exception because it is done as a null, and directly we are pulling get of ABC because
Okay.
hash map is not
So,
initialized.
can you handle this and show me, Nandish?
What I need to handle here?
Exception.
No,
How will
like
you handle the exception?
null pointer exception I need to handle.
Whatever exception comes, you
Okay,
have to
okay,
handle.
okay, like that.
If I run this, the program should not terminate. No, you should not use a try catch, please. You should not use a try catch or throws keyword. Handle it using some other way.
Yeah.
Okay, can you handle it using a ternary operator and show me? Do you know what is a ternary operator?
I'm I'm not good. Like collection dot empty.
What you know ternary operator? What is a ternary operator?
I forgot what is that.
You will give a condition. If the condition is true, you have to use question mark. So whatever is after the question mark, it will give you that one. If your condition is false, whatever is after the code. Yeah. Try that.
Yeah, I got in that. I was like, colon 1 second.
Okay, you cannot use it inside a if language. You have to directly use that inside.
Yeah, I will do. 1 second. Hashmap. Hashmap equal to null. Then I think okay. Not equal to null. Then now this. Okay. Yeah, this will work.
Okay, can you run this instead of empty? Just pass some message like map is null in line number 12. You're passing it as empty, right? After colon. Okay, can you run it and show me? Yeah, okay, very good. So now you can comment line number 11. Please comment line number 11. Okay, now instead of ABC in line number 12, make it as ABCD.
ABC D.
Yeah.
Then it will print null.
Okay, now tell me what will be the output.
The value will be null, because if not is there nothing there, it will by default it will think as a null and it will give null if the value is not there.
It's fine. Okay, I'm sending you one more question in the chat.
Okay. Sorry, the chat is not available here.
Oh, what happened? Okay, I'll tell you, make a note of it.
Okay. Yeah.
Your input is I create an integer array. Let this be there. Yeah. Create an input int array.
I will only create it. Okay. Input array, yeah?
Yeah. Int array. Yeah. It is 102, 10,
Sorry, 1 second.
102,
10,
3, 14, 1, 6, 100, 8, 11, 1, 7, 100. 1, 700. Okay, so this is your input. Your output should be 1, 10, just make a note. Yeah, 1, 10, 11, 14, 100, 102. Okay, so the task is you have to filter out all the numbers that starts with 1. Okay, so your output should contain all the numbers that starts with 1 in the sorted order, and if there are any duplicates should not be present in your output. Clear?
Sorry.
For example, if your input contains 15, your output should look like 1, 10, 11, 14, 15, 100 and 102. So if you see the input, you have 100 repeated twice. So only 100 is present in your output. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay, so there are a few things. Nadish, you should not use any inbuilt methods for sorting, like arrays.sort or collections.sort. You should not use directly. Okay. Either you can use streams for sorting, or else you can write your own logic for sorting. Alright?
Okay.
So that is the only condition.
இந்த ரெண்டு பேரும் ஒருத்தரா கேட்கணும்.
Okay, very good. Sorting is happening, correct?
Sorting is happening.
Next task will be to remove the duplicates. Next is filter out the numbers. That starts with 1.
Into can we use array list?
Yes, you can. I told only for sorting you should not use any inbuilt methods. You can use any collections or you can use any Java 8 concepts. That is really okay. Directly don't use arrays.sort or collections.sort. That's all.
Okay.
Any other things you can do. getting class cast because of scroller. It is not a wrapper class, right? Your input, make it as a wrapper class. Your input is a int, make it as integer. Input. Yeah, there also change it as integer. On top also you have the integer, right? Int, right? Make it as integer. Top scroll up at least, yeah. So make it as a wrapper class. Okay. Now try this. Okay, so what is happening here? You're putting inside a list. The order is okay, so duplicate, you are removing using list and you use the streams. Okay, inside streams itself, you can do all the sorting, removing duplicates in a single thing, and this you don't have to complicate it so much.
Yeah,
Okay,
you told, right? So you told.
I told streams is fine, right? I told streams is fine.
Okay.
Okay, no issues, very good. Have you worked on Spring and Spring Boot, Nangesh?
Yeah, Spring Boot also. Yeah, I have worked on.
Okay, so what is the advantages of Spring Boot over Spring? Why do people prefer Spring Boot mostly?
Yeah, basically start from POM. So POM is like we'll be in Spring we'll be having mentioning all the dependencies, and we need to mention all the what versions and all we need to mention over there. Basically in Spring Boot what happened, they have decided like what are the basic dependencies needed, and they have come up with a default version. If the parent version is some 2.2.2 release, then there will be having the certain dependencies, they will only have that, and with the dependencies which are needed in the versions they needed, they will be coming up. Like Spring Web will be there. If you use a Spring Web, that the dependencies which is having more like many internal dependencies, core dependencies and all, that basically of that particular version it will become up. So that is one, like depending the injection versioning problem was there, that was resolved from that main concept in POM. And in Spring Boot we'll be having what in Spring we'll be having, we need to mention a bean configuration and all, bean configuration, we need to scan, auto scan, component scan and all, we need to do everything, we have to do separately. But in Spring Boot we'll be having other Spring Boot application where we'll be that automatically it does the enable auto configuration it will be having, and enable component scan will be having. So auto configuration in the sense like if you have a application properties also you have, if you define any database configuration, so it will pick that database and it will automatically configure the default database data source for us. So that is configuration, so it will be done. And scanning also, auto scanning of the components, like we'll be having services and repositories and controllers, and the components object creations and all, it will be done in the Spring Boot. This is a main difference.
Okay, can you name few annotations with respect to Spring Boot alone?
Spring Boot alone.
Yeah.
High level we'll be having Spring Boot application is the main.
Okay.
That internally uses the enable auto scan, enable auto component scan, auto component scan, and auto configuration that has that.
Okay, alright. I was expecting Spring Boot application only. That's fine. Do you know the use of at repository annotation, Nandesh? Where it is used and why?
Yeah, at repository basically we'll be using in a database connection, like JPA repository we'll be using. So we can mention that is a JPA repository which is connecting to the DB, and it internally has a transaction, so transaction dependency. So if any transactions happens, it will be handled.
Okay, very good. Alright. So what are the design patterns here aware of?
Basically, mainly we'll be using factory design pattern, and in some places singleton if needed. Singleton basically in Spring Boot. Yeah.
Can you explain me factory, like the simple definition of what is a factory?
Factory is like we'll be creating interface, and the interface will be having many subclasses which is implemented classes. In the runtime we can choose like which class should be which class should be auto-wide, means which class should be create the bean of the particular class. Like if you have a service class, service having a service as an interface, in that for that service, if you have 2-3 implementation classes, so in controller in controller service layer, if you need another service to be implemented, and that will be having a different implementation, so we can use a qualifier and we can mention which implementation we need, and we can use that. Like in the runtime we can use a different which in the in which time what time in the what time we can use the specific implemented class. So that is the factory design.
Okay, got it. Fine. All right. So, what are the steps I need to follow in order to create a singleton class, Nadesh?
Basically we'll be creating a singleton class, and which should be having a private constructor, and it will be having a static method, and and in that same class we'll be having a what static object of the same class, and in we will be having a method which will be giving the object of the same object, which will be defined in the same class, the same class method. Means in the method we will be returning the object of the singleton object, which is like we already defined in the class level will be initiated, right? So in that method we'll be checking whether that is a null or not. If that is null, then we'll be initiating and we'll be giving. If it is not null, we'll be giving the same object. So that will be like lazy loading. It will be whenever we need it, then we will be creating an object of the singleton, and we'll be taking the object by the method.
Okay, very good. All right. Fine, Nandish. So, have you done unit testing?
Basically, I'm not hands-on experience full on. Like we can use like for all the controller for all services we need to do a mocking test. Like we'll be having a mockito, and for bean initialization and all we'll be using mock bean and mock. Yeah, basically I don't have an hands-on experience in the separate. We need means basically we need to create separate for every controller. We need to write a separate method, and we need
What
to
about JUnit?
JUnit. Yeah, using JUnit only we'll be doing, right?
Have you written JUnit test cases?
No, that's what I am not an hands-on experience.
Fine. All right. So, if required, you will be able to learn, right?
Yeah, that I think I have. I can learn meantime.
What about the version control, Nandish? Which one you have been using?
Bitbucket we used to use.
Okay, Bitbucket. So, are you aware of Git commands?
Basically, I used to use Eclipse on everything, cloning and all, and committing and all. Cloning command also I know, like git clone, and we'll be having the repo clone
Have
URL.
you used git fetch?
Push and pull.
Git fetch.
Like fetching the existing project's data pull.
Okay, what is the main reason for merge conflict, Nandish?
Basically, like I will be working on the same the class called Altimetrick. I think I am working, and some other my colleague will be working on the same class Altimetrick, and we'll be modifying something, and we'll be committing the both. But if we go and merge in the main, like development is the main branch, it will be like that time same class will be modified the both guys, so the conflict will come up. So we need to do
so
like
suppose we both are working in this Altimetric class, and my changes are in line number 16 and your changes are in line number 30. Okay. So will you get a conflict or not?
Line number?
My changes are in line number 16, so I make my changes and I push my code. Okay. Now you are not taking the latest update. You are also working on the same file, but your change is only present in line number 30. All right. So now we are trying to do force push. So in that case, you will get a conflict or will not get a conflict. You are not clear with the question yet?
Yeah, I got it. Like you will be working on 16th and I will be working 30. I will be like force push the commit.
Yeah, my code is already merged to develop.
Okay.
Now you are trying to push your code to develop. So in that case, if you do a normal push, it will ask you to pull, but you are doing a force push. So in that case, you will get a conflict or not. Okay, you should understand the main reason for conflict, Nadish. Not only the same file, only if the same lines are changed, conflict will occur. Okay, if it is different lines, auto merging will happen. So when you do a force push also, what happens is your lines of force will be changed, and whatever is there in line number 16 will be replaced by my changes. So that is called as auto merging. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Okay, Nadish, I think we are good. Do you have any questions?